We got this big fight July 29th.
Big one, man.
Huge fight. Who do you favor?
And look, when I say this answer, I don't even believe it. You know what I'm saying? It is such a 50-50 fight. And I'm just saying this because that's what I've been saying. I'm trying to stay true to what, stop flip-flopping. But I'm gonna reluctantly say I think Crawford is going to win. And again, I don't believe that. Spence is a monster. Spence is um he's very strong, he's very resilient. His technique as far as the basics go is on point. He has a weird rhythm too. Like he's just coming forward, he's throwing punches, he's always stepping, and in very weird rhythm. Um, Crawford, Crawford's a slow starter, as is Spence, and they both get bigger, better as the fight goes on. But Crawford gets hit a lot in the beginning. As Spence doesn't necessarily take a lot of that, he just gets strong as it goes. So I like I said, I don't really believe it, but I'm gonna say Crawford because I think he has a little bit more I don't know, layers to his game maybe. It's such a 50-50 fight for me, man. And I like Spence and I like how I like everything he does. He does everything right. There's not really anything I can see that he does wrong. Same with Crawford. I don't see that anything he does wrong.
Right.
I think a lot of people think the deciding factor is Spence's strength, and I don't think that is going to be the deciding factor because Crawford is strong too.
Hmm.
He may be smaller, but that little nigga is strong, man.
Right. Right. Those wrestlers, man, they're always strong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but there's always something in a fighter that other fighters see that is like a negative. And
Mhm.
when you look at guys like Crawford and Spence, what are if you had to give me one thing that they don't do necessarily well, what are they?
I will look at this as far as their game goes. I couldn't. I think for Spence maybe and again, that's probably because he's never had to use it. But is there any plan B for Spence? Does he have anything he could switch up and rely back on? And again, that's not even necessarily a negative because he's never had to use it. So that's it's positive for him in a sense. Um, I guess outside the game, I would say Spence. He may not now, but at one point he did a lot of drinking in between fights. He got fat in between fights. We've seen that. And I know Crawford does not. He doesn't indulge in nothing. You know what I mean? He lives real clean, stays in shape, stays on weight. Maybe that's the deciding factor in this fight. It's so 50-50. It's that clean living is going to be the deciding factor.
Hmm. Hmm. Do you think the car crash could have prevented plus the also the surgery that he had with the eye? Could that play a
Well,
factor?
a crash like that, it's got to take something from you. Um, he came right back and fought Danny Garcia. He had rust. He didn't look bad. You know what I'm saying? He looked like he ain't fought in a while, and shit. He didn't look like he just got in a life threatening crash either.
Right.
And then Ugas was the next fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
And looked great, like he was back, ready to go. Um, who we're not gonna know what that crash took out of him until it's time. You know what I'm saying? He could look good until he don't. So I don't know. That's one of those immeasurables that it's hard to keep in factor. Um, he's looked good his last fight. I don't know how much that affect him. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Where does Boots Ennis fall in all this when, they come into, maybe one day fight and get it on?
Well, the way I see it, Boots will probably never fight Spence or Terrence because I think both of them are going to move to 54 after this fight, from what I
Hmm.
understand. And then Boots can just run the game at 147. He
Yeah.
he will be that guy, um, for sure. And Boots may not be happy with that. He may be like, "Nah, I want them cats." You know what I mean? But I think he should just Roy Jones Jr. that that weight class. You know what I'm saying? For as long as he feels like, and then go 54 if he gets big enough. But Boots is the truth.